Good morning. Welcome to Mark's Business Check-in. It's Tuesday. It's fantastic and bright outside. And actually, I was outside there for a few minutes, and it's warmish. Now, it's not like it has been for the last couple of weeks cold. It's actually nice out there. But that's not your weather forecast. But isn't it fantastic that even now at 7:30 in the morning, compared to when I started this show on the 6th of January, it was actually pitch black outside. It was dark. Now it's bright, which is absolutely fantastic. So thanks for joining me this morning. As you know, we're live on all social media platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course TikTok. So this morning I want to talk to you about something that an awful lot of people do, and an awful lot of business people do it, especially entrepreneurs and team leaders and people leading companies. And that's resetting the bar every time we do something. And before they finish. So if I tell you what I mean, like if you remember when you were back in school in your school days, when you used to be studying, and you used to say to yourself, I'm going to study one chapter tonight, and maybe one chapter of geography. So I'm going to study one chapter tonight. And halfway through that chapter, you're doing okay. And you decide, no, I'd actually study 2 chapters tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to study 2 chapters tonight. And then you finish the first chapter, you start the second chapter, and halfway through that you go, God, no. You know what? I'll do 3 chapters tonight. And what happens is you get the end of chapter 2, you're tired, you've revised, or you've studied enough, and you don't feel like carrying on and doing any more studying. And you feel disappointed in yourself for not getting and achieving the goal or the bar that you set, which was 3 chapters. So you feel you've let yourself down. And you do this over and over. And an awful lot of people do it and start doing it in their school days. But entrepreneurs are fantastic for doing it. Is that they will set a goal of maybe having a certain marketing plan ready in a week's time. But then after the first day, they go, no, you know what? No, we're going to do that plan within 2 days. And then a day later, they're going to do it within 3 days. And the problem is, the plan they had was going to take a week. And maybe they're ADHD. Maybe they're like me, they're dyslexic. And dyslexic people are fantastic for doing this. Setting targets, and when they're halfway through the target, resetting the target or resetting the deadline to make it more ambitious. But the challenge is you never get there. So you don't have the wins. And this is what this morning is all about, the wins. You need the wins. And you need to feel like you've won, right? So, and a good analogy, I read this about a week ago, a good analogy about this puts it very nicely. You can imagine walking into a house and there's 40 steps. There's 40 steps in the house to go upstairs. And after every 10 steps, there's a landing. So you know you can't go from step 1 to step 40 in one go. You know you can't go in 2 goes. So what you do, what everyone else does, you walk the first 10 steps up to the first landing. And what you should then do is congratulate yourself on obtaining that goal of getting up to the first landing. You'll feel much better saying, I've reached my first target. And then you go the next set of steps, the next 10 steps to the next mini landing. And you reward yourself and thank yourself and congratulate yourself again for getting to the next milestone. And then you go again, the next 10 steps. And you reach the next mini landing. And you congratulate yourself again for reaching the next milestone. And finally, you take the last 10 steps and you reach upstairs. And you feel fantastic because this is the ultimate goal. You've now achieved, you've reached the top of the stairs. Now that might sound very simple, but the point I want to make to you is that it's very important in life and in business that we have some targets that we set, that we stick to, And when we achieve them, we reward ourselves. Just because you've set yourself your target maybe of winning 4 new customers this week, and it's only Tuesday, but on Tuesday, you've hit 2. And you go, this is flying along. This is brilliant. I'm at 2, and my target for the week is 4. I forget about that. My target for the week is now 6. I'm going to get 6 new customers this week. That's my new target. And what happens? On Friday, you have 4 new customers. But you're disappointed because your target was 6. You're disappointed. You haven't hit your goal and you feel terrible. But the reality was, and the reality is, your goal was 4. If you had stayed at your goal of 4, you would have felt fantastic on Friday because you would have hit the 4. You would have hit the 4. I'm saying goodbye to my grandson who's going off. So you would have hit the 4 and you would have felt absolutely brilliant. But what happens? You feel disappointed. You feel let down. You feel you let yourself down. And a lot of people who are dyspraxic, and ADHD, and people who are ADHD out there will recognize this. You're always moving the goalpost. You're never hitting your target because you keep moving your target and you keep letting yourself down. And you feel like you've let yourself down. When in fact you have hit the target, just to keep bloody well moving it. So the thing you need to do in business and in life is stop moving the target for yourself. Half the thing about setting targets is that it's the journey. It's the journey you're on to get to the next step. And if you're running your own business and you own your own company, or you're managing your own business, or you're managing a business on behalf of someone else, or you're a team leader, and you're doing a project, and you're on a project, and the boss says they want the project done in 4 weeks, but you decide, no, we'll do it in 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you have the whole team working hard, aiming towards the target of getting the project finished. But after 2 weeks, you're still not finished. And you and the team feel you've let yourselves down. You've let yourselves down because you didn't beat your own target. The target was 4 weeks. You reset the target. I think we do this all the time. And a lot of salespeople do it. As I said, a lot of salespeople are flying along for a month, and maybe the target is £5,000, maybe the target is £10,000, maybe it's 20, 100, whatever the target is. And they feel that at the beginning of the month, it's going so well. It's going so well that they're going to increase the target. They're going to increase the pressure on themselves. They're going to increase the pressure of what they want to achieve. And at the end of the month, they don't achieve it. And they feel let down. I see this thing about in business and in life and in everything you do, you have to have the mini wins. The mini wins are so important. They really are. The mini wins helps your mental health, helps your mind, helps your body, and it boosts your energy levels. Because when you hit the mini targets, you feel great. You absolutely feel brilliant when you hit the mini targets. And that's what it's all about. Hitting the bar. And to teach yourself to stop moving the bar, the closer you get to it. If you're hitting that bar sooner than you expect, so what? Hit the bar, take the achievement, take the win. That's so important. Take the win. And I can't emphasize that enough. I've worked with many sales teams over the years, many sales teams of all levels, from tele-sales teams to corporate sales teams to mega corporate sales teams, where our targets were maybe £1 million, £2 million, to tele-sales, where our targets maybe were 200 or 300 quid a day. And maybe the target was £5,000 for the month, or maybe it was 100 new accounts for the month. And then I've worked on the corporate end where we're chasing businesses worth a few £1 million. And one of the things I notice with a lot of these sales teams is that when they hit a target early, they feel fantastic. They feel absolutely brilliant, and so they should. But the worst thing that can happen, and I've seen it happen with companies I've worked for, especially in the likes of Aircom and Air semi-say companies, that the boss will come out and say, "Well done, you hit the target, but let's increase the target for the month. So your target, I gave you a target of 50 grand, let's call it 70." Now immediately that salesperson feels terrible. They don't feel great because they don't have the adrenaline and they don't have the energy boost from winning and hitting the target for the month, because now the target has been moved. And that is not the way to run sales organizations or to manage yourself. It's so important for you to take the wins, take the small wins. As I said, go back to walking up those flight of stairs and the 4 individual landings. That every time you get to the landing, you've achieved something. You've hit something. And even in your own business, if you set yourself a sales target of £5,000 this month, or 4 or 5 or 10 new accounts, and halfway during the month, you're nearly at your target, don't change the target. Your target is what you set at the beginning of the month. Hit the target and take the win. Take the adrenaline rush that comes with it and all the endorphins that are released from having that win. Take the win. You don't see, when footballers are out there and they want to win a match, they want to win, whether it's 1-0 or 2-0 or 3-0. They don't suddenly decide after they're winning 2-0, you know what, we're doing terrible. We're doing rubbish. We need to win 10-0. We need to win 10-0. And the whole team at halftime come in for a talk and the manager says, "I know you're winning 2-0, you put up a good performance, but you're all rubbish because we need to win 10-0 and you're not doing great." And the whole team goes back out, demotivated, let down, energy sapped out of them, and they're really, really annoyed that they're not doing what they are expected, what is expected of them. Well, really, what was expected of them was to win the match. Win the match. And they are winning the match. They are winning the match. So, whether it's yourself, or whether it's your organization, whether your sales team, and just say to people, everyone on TikTok, if you can keep hitting that heart button, I'd really appreciate it. And share this with your audience. And everybody else, if you can hit your follow or subscribe button, it's all free. I'd really appreciate it. So take the wins. Take the wins. I can't emphasize that enough. And let your teams take the wins. If you're sitting in an office there and you realize that your sales team are going to hit that target a week ahead of time, don't go out there and reset the target just because they're hitting it. Don't do that. That's not fair. And you're taking the win away from them, because if they don't hit the new target, they won't feel the adrenaline rush. They won't feel good about themselves. And then you as a person cannot go out there and say to them, "Well done, you did it," because they didn't do it. So what if your sales team hits the target 2 weeks early? It's your fault for setting the wrong target, not their fault for hitting the target. So what if you win new business, more new customers than you planned on this month? That's a win. Take the win. Next month, yes, set yourself a more ambitious target. Go for something more ambitious. But take the win and allow your teams to take the win. We all need the wins. Whether it's going and catching the bus on time, or getting in the train on time, or getting into the office 10 minutes early as planned, or getting home by a certain time to go and bring the kids for a game of football, now that the evening is getting brighter, or bring them swimming, or whatever. Take the wins. Take the wins and don't overstretch yourselves. People who are ADHD and dyslexic, we're always resetting the targets. We're always resetting where we want to go. And one of the biggest challenges of your ADHD and your dyslexic like me is staying on track. It's staying focused. And the thing that keeps us focused the most is the wins. They keep us focused the most. And that's so important. So take the win. That's really important. Take the win. Sorry, I thought my mic wasn't on there. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about this morning. If you, as I said, if you work for yourself, if you manage a team, or even if you're at home and doing stuff for yourself, learn to take the wins. Learn to appreciate that the target you're going for, the bar you're going for, the goal you're going for is what you've set. Don't be resetting stuff in the middle of trying to achieve where you're going. Don't keep doing that. Stay focused and, as I said, take the wins. Now, just to say to you, we're going to have a fantastic interview with an entrepreneur in a fantastic industry that a lot of people might even think you're going into. And that's going to be up on our YouTube site in the next couple of days. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube site and keep an eye on that interview going up. It's free to subscribe. It's free to follow me. So do follow me. Do keep hitting the heart button on the TikTok. Anyway, you're looking at us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn Live. Make sure you hit the follow button, because then that way you'll get a message when our next fantastic interview with an entrepreneur goes up there. It's a female entrepreneur. I've known the lady for a long time, since about 1995, and it's a fantastic business that she has, and it's a great story. So I think you'll really, really enjoy it. So keep a watch out for that. Definitely keep a watch out for that. For everyone on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, thanks for joining me this morning. We really appreciate it. Hope you join me tomorrow morning, where I'm here every weekday morning from 7:30 a.m. for up to about 20 minutes, because I know everybody's in a rush to go out to work. Times is a premium. You could be running for the bus, running for the train, you're cycling in, you're driving in, or whatever. So you have joined me in the morning time, fantastic. If you join me in the afternoon, even better. And don't forget, we're on podcast as well. So just put in the name Mark Beggs, and all the shows are up there as a podcast, whether it's on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, and just put in the word my name, Mark Beggs, and it will come up for you. All right, thanks so much, folks. This morning we're ending the stream there on our other channels.